All right, now to use our service, we go to app.component.ts, import it here from auth.service, and then inject it in the constructor of this class. So private auth of type auth. Now we go to our template, app.component.html. I'm going to add a couple of buttons here, one for login, one for logout. And I want to render this login button only if the user is not authenticated. So ng-if, we're going to use the auth field in our class. So auth, and here we have a method is authenticated. And then apply the not operator here. And similarly, I want to render logout only if the user is authenticated. So ng-if auth.is authenticated. Now for the click events, again, I'm going to use this private field. So auth.login. Very, very simple. And auth.logout. So this is how we use this service. But there is one more step left. Let's go back to our management dashboard. In the list of clients, we go to our app, Pepper. Now on the settings page, if you scroll down, you see this field allowed callback URLs. So similar to Facebook authentication, when we log in via auth0, auth0 is going to take the user back to a given URL, and we need to specify that URL here. Otherwise, we're going to get exceptions in the browser because of violating cross-origin policy. So when serving our application using Angular CLI, our application is hosted on localhost port 4200. We need to add that here. Now in the future, if we deploy this application to a testing, staging, or a production environment, we can add multiple URLs here. So let's go ahead and save the changes. And by the way, look here, we have a field called JWT expiration. So our JSON web tokens expire in 36,000 seconds. You can change this value if you want to. Now save changes. Beautiful. So let's go to our app. Okay, I'm going to click the login button. Okay, this is the login widget that is implemented by auth0. So in our service, in the login method, we simply called the show method of the log object. And the result is this dialog here. Let me zoom out so you can see more clearly. So on the top, we have two tabs, login and sign up. We have a button for authenticating via Google. So every application that you create with auth0 by default has login via Google support. If you want to support additional social login providers, you go to your management dashboard and under connections, social, here you can see various social login providers. So if I want to enable Facebook, here I need to add an app ID and app secret. And you learn this in the section about Firebase. So you create a Facebook app, get an app ID and a secret, simply paste them here. And here we have attributes of the user we're interested in, like their email, birthday, and so on. And after that, you can select additional permissions that you want to get from Facebook, like the pages a user has liked, their posts, their events, their photos, and so on. So you simply enable Facebook authentication here. And then in the login widget, you will have another button for logging in via Facebook. All right, now I'm going to register as a new user. So I go to the sign up tab, add test3@domain.com, give it a password. So I successfully logged in, and now I have the logout button. So authentication is working perfectly. Now let me show you something. I'm going to open up the console. Under Application tab, if you go to Local Storage, you can see we have an item with the key ID underline token. And the value of that is our JSON web token. Now, if I log out, this item will be removed from local storage. There you go. And one last thing before we finish this lecture. In Management Dashboard, we have a page for our users. So you can see all the users that are signed up in our application. Now, these users are stored in Auth0 servers. If you want to have these user accounts in your own database somewhere else, Auth0 still supports that, but you need to use one of their commercial services. All right, next we're going to look at working with user profiles.